I deal with the boss lady. Boss lady needs some situations taken care of, you know. I work for a company run by one of Toronto's own fantastic multi-millionaire lady executives. So she gave me a shout. I'm in here in the quarters, the headquarters. I'm in headquarters here. I'm in headquarters making things happen out here in headquarters. So once I'm in headquarters, I'm actually finished for the day. I just have to deal with something. So I said, let me do this live, get myself organized. But I'm coming back to finalize this thing right here. I'm gonna give you guys a few more minutes. I came back, like I said, I gotta give you a few more minutes of this because I gotta tell you where I'm gonna put my money, right? You got Trinidad, St. Vincent, and Italy. That's where I said I'm gonna leave my money. Right? So that's where I said I'm gonna be. I'm gonna retire in those three locations, right? Talking about Usain Bolt losing his $10 million because he decided to put his money in a Jamaican bank. Jamaican people them stuck him up for his money. His own manager stuck him up for his money, right? His assistant stuck him up for his money, giving him receipts and giving him statements, stuck him up for all his money. $10 million. Is he broke? The Negro raised about $90 million in his career. So he probably ain't broke, but I'm sure that $10 million gonna hurt. I don't care who you are. You lose $10 million, it's gonna hurt your soul. It's gonna hit you in your soul. So, what am I gonna do with my money? Right? Where am I gonna leave it? Where am I gonna park all of my finances when it's retirement time? Can I tell you? Okay. First and foremost, you can't park all your money in one currency. You hear what I said? You cannot park all your money in one currency because empires fall. This is how the Jews got rich in the Napoleonic Age. The Jews financed Napoleon's war, right? The Jews knew how much soldiers he had because soldiers were paid in gold. They were paid in gold. So when he's paying for soldiers in gold, you're paying for soldiers in gold, and you're the banker, you know how many soldiers you have, and you know how many soldiers the other guy has. So they're saying, okay, I made Napoleon got more soldiers than the other guys got. He's got more artillery, he's got more gun, he's got it. So this is what I'm gonna do. So when you have your money in different currencies, you basically hedge yourself in respect to empires falling. This is the whole Napoleonic War. This is how the Jews got rich in the Napoleonic Age. So when I retire, I ain't gonna be Usain Bolt. I ain't gonna put my money in a Jamaican bank and pray that God make the Jamaican banking system flourish. That's craziness. You put your money in different currencies. So who are the established strong currencies of the age right now? Number one of the strongest currencies in the world is those German Deutschmarks. German Deutschmarks. Right? Number two, we know the American currency, but in the bottom of the American currency, there's too much money around. There's too much fiat currency going around. But as long as America's got a strong army, they're going to have a strong currency. So you can leave your money in American USD. Number three, you leave your money in gold. Bullion. I ain't leaving it in Canadian dollars. You know why I'm not leaving it in Canadian dollars? Because the Canadian dollar defaults itself to be weaker than US currency. It wants to be weaker. The Canadian dollar wants to be weaker than the US currency. You know why? Canadian dollar should be stronger than US currency because our banks are more secure. Our entire infrastructure is more secure than US currency. But you know why we want our currency to be weaker than yours and we actually create a weak currency on purpose? You know why we do that? Because there's 300 million consumers in the USA that will come to Canada and spend their money because our dollar is weaker than yours, making your money go further in Canada. So we do that on purpose. So you have to think to yourself, okay, I'm not going to put my money in one currency, and if this whole empire flops, my money's gone. Don't do that. Don't do that. Imagine your money was in Roman denarius since when Rome was conquered by the Ottoman Turks. The money's worth nothing anymore, right? But gold is always worth something, right? And strong currencies, like the Dutch mark, currencies who do not engage in warfare. So you have the U.S. currency. It's strong because it has a strong army. Yeah, you got to have a little bit of U.S. money. You have the German Deutschmark, strong currency, period. Just a strong currency, right? And they don't really have an army anymore. No one's coming to throw them away. No one's coming to fight with them. And number three, gold. The problem with gold, this is the issue, last issue, is that gold is heavy. You're not gonna have gold certificates. You're not gonna have your money invested in gold. You're gonna have gold, literal gold. You have to put it somewhere. Where are we putting all of this money? Where am I parking all of this money? If I'm a U.S. citizen, I'm not parking in Switzerland. Why? Because Switzerland has to report to the U.S. how much U.S. dollars are actually sitting in Switzerland. So therefore, you can't hide money in Switzerland anymore. It's not a place you can hide money. But those Canary Islands, at this time at least, is still a place, and some of you might correct me, because some of you might say, oh, that's changed. The Canary Islands are still a place you can park both currency and physical gold, right? And how do you park physical gold? Do you put it in a bank? No. The purpose of gold is not to put it in a bank. The purpose of gold is so that if the banks crash, you have gold. That's it. So putting a gold in a safety deposit box in a bank, that defeats the purpose of having gold. Gold is a hedge in case the banking system fails. So what you have to do is you literally have to build yourself a hold for your gold. In Switzerland, that's what they're doing now. They're literally building these incredible safes where people are literally depositing their gold in these incredible safes and leaving it there. So what do you have to do in the Canary Islands? Or you have to literally build yourself a gold repository. You have to build a place that you can say, my gold is there, it's locked up. You need explosives to get it out of there. And you're going to hide it, you're going to put it in a particular place and do that with it. You might leave, it's going to fall down and be overthrown in Europe. We know that. Europe's always been overthrown. So you don't leave gold in Europe, right? That leaving gold in Switzerland is crazy. Anybody can march in there and take it. They don't have an army, right? So you keep your money digitized in USD, in another strong currency, and you keep it in gold. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. What are you being told to do now? Buy real estate. How are you going to move around with real estate? Right? How are you really going to move around real estate? It's good to have a house if you want to live there, but to use real estate as a catch-all in the case of a global anarchy system, no. Real estate is only good if the community or the place that you're living in is safe, if there's no wars, right? So what was Usain Bolt's issue? The lack of diversification, right? And putting his money in a very weak market. Don't park your money in weak markets. Take money with you and live out in weak markets. If I move to Africa, am I putting all my money in an African bank? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? First of all, it's hard to get the money out, right? It's hard to get the money in and out. It's hard to put the money there because it's hard to make an African account. It's hard to get the money back out. Usain Bolt's issue is he was not advised very well. He should be a Jamaican with no money in Jamaica. That's what he should. He should have assets in Jamaica. He should have a house, have a car, right? He could even have gold in Jamaica. That would probably be smart too, to have gold literally sitting in Jamaica in a vault somewhere, right? In a big and buried in the ground somewhere. But to actually have money in a Jamaican investment account, that Negro crazy. That's what made him lose all his cash, baby. There's a confession letter out that one of the investment managers working there, she did this to the other's account as well. She was shuffling clients. Oh, you're trying to learn how to invest personally. I just don't know how to start. I can hit you with that, Tiana. How do you start investing personally? You start at the level that you're at, right? You start at the level that you're at. The best thing about investing, the best way to start investing is to create an investment habit, right? And habits, those create wealth. So wealthy people have wealthy people habits. One of the first things that you start to do, right, is, and this concept, pay yourself first. You pay yourself first by pulling money out of every time you get money. That money goes to your investment account every time, and you can create your own percentage. People say 10% or whatever. Whenever you get money, you look at this money and say, part of this has to go into that account, and you become systematic about doing that, right? The church has been trying to teach people to do that for years. It's called tithing, right? But you become systematic and saying some money is going to go right into this particular type of account. My suggestion is that that account is not an investment account first, because a new investor is laden with ignorance. You don't know where to invest. So what you do, and people say, "Oh, a savings account is a..." No. Once you start by creating a savings account. You funnel your money to a savings account, right? It could be something very, very easy. You're collecting 1%, 2%, doesn't matter. It's safe, because that's number one. Create the habit, right? And then create thresholds. That's number two. So once you start funneling all this money out of your checking into a savings account, potentially a TFSA, tax-free savings account, potentially, but we won't worry about that right now. But you're creating a habit. You create thresholds. That's number two. Threshold meaning, once I reach $1,000, I will decide I'm going to take the 1,000 and I'm going to now formally find a vehicle to invest it in. All right? So now you have your habit of just funneling savings over here, and then you have your threshold. When your threshold bells go up, bing, reach 1,000. Okay, now we take this 1,000 and I find a vehicle to invest that money in. And we can talk about what those vehicles are. Okay? I'm creating my own bank system. Okay, tell us about that. That's good. So Tiana, that's where you start. Don't listen to nobody else. Trust me. You start by creating investment habits. And the last part I'll say about the vehicle. If you were taking an Uber in 2019, right? Taking an Uber in 2019, and you call an Uber 2019, most likely a vehicle, maybe a 2020 vehicle, 2019, 2018 vehicle is going to show up and pick you up, right? It won't be a 2025 vehicle. Why? Because a 2025 vehicle doesn't exist yet, correct? So if you're taking an Uber in 2019, you probably get a 2020, 2019, 2018, even 2017, right? Now it's 2023. If you're taking an Uber in 2023, what kind of vehicle shows up? 2024, 2023, 2022. So vehicles change. That's the point of that little analogy. Years ago, crypto wasn't a thing, right? Crypto went through its big move. Now, crypto is a very dangerous thing. We realize that now. Thank you, Sam Bankman-Fried. We ain't messing with no crypto right now. I don't think smart people should be in the crypto market right now. It's too volatile, right? But vehicles change. People used to say, well, you got to put your money in real estate. People used to say, well, you got to put your money, invest in the banks. The point is, there is no system that is static for investment. You got to evaluate the vehicle when you're ready to move your money from savings into that vehicle. But the bucket is important. What do you mean when you say the bucket? Okay, let me show you something. This here is a bucket, right? Trash bucket, but it's a bucket. What they are saying now is, if you put your money in this bucket, a tax-free savings account bucket, everything that you put in this bucket, we won't tax. That's what these registered savings accounts are, right? If it's a retirement fund, say, if you put it in this bucket, we're going to wait till you're this age before we start taxing you. So if it's a education fund, then we're going to let you put it in this bucket, and then the only way we're going to let you use the money is for education. So these buckets are, you got to realize the buckets are good. So Three things I said, right? Create a habit, throw it into a savings account. Meet your threshold, number two, pull it out of the savings account, a portion of it, pull it out of the savings account, and find the vehicle to put it in, right? But number three, which is most important, start with the buckets that save you. The biggest thing that you have to save is tax. Tax savings starts right there. We're going to tax you at 15%, 20%, whatever they're going to tax you at, but you're only going to make 7 or 8% on the money. So the first savings you want is tax savings. You want to make sure the government doesn't eat that 15%, because that 15, 17, 18, whatever percent it is the amount of money you could be making. So from habits to thresholds to buckets. And if Usain Bolt had me as an investor advisor, his behind would have 10 million more US dollars in his pocket. That's what I got to say. Put it in the right bucket. Sorry to hear that's why he would keep his money. Man, you can't do that to yourself, bro. God is speaking through you, because I definitely don't drive, but I do have a tax-free savings account. I live in the city and I work from home, so I don't really go out unless I have to. Good. And I'll give you one last thing. I'll drop one. Microsoft, Apple investing. Okay, talk about it. I don't know anything about it, so talk about that. I'll give you one more thing, though. Something that I think is extremely important in the West. Doesn't necessarily apply in other places like Africa and whatnot. That credit rating thing, man, as best as you can, try your very, very best to protect it. But if you've jacked it up, let me give you a fix, how to fix that, because that credit thing is going to help you out, right? I'm going to give you a great way to make your credit amazing quickly, even if your credit's bad, right? Try to see if you can go out there and get one of these $500 credit cards, right? Even if you go to the bank and say, hey, listen, I'm going to give you guys $500, give me a $500 credit card. As long as you make sure that that credit card is reporting to the credit companies. Make sure it's a reporting credit card. It's not one of these charge cards, but make sure it's a reporting credit card that reports. This is what you do with those credit cards. Or if you have a $500 credit card now, a $1,000 credit card, $1,500 credit card, use it for this, right? No more than a $1,500 credit card though. Use it for this. What you do, you're gonna buy gas every week. You're gonna buy groceries. You're gonna buy some clothes on Amazon. You're gonna buy food, whatever, right? You're gonna have a little budget because you got needs. This is what I want you to do. Don't pay for those needs anymore with your cash or with a debit card. I want you to transfer, pay your credit card with the money you're just about to use. So if you're gonna say, I gotta go to the grocery tomorrow, pay your credit card $200. Online though, do it online, because then it allow you to use the money immediately. You pay your credit card $200, and then tomorrow you go and you buy $200 worth of groceries, all right? And then you say, okay, I got to put gas in my car, $100. Pay your credit card and so keep doing that back and forth. What takes place is the algorithms or how they manage your credit will see that this person is a constant payer, right? And it will now cause your credit score to go up. It will actually cause them to want to lend you more money, right? Because they will see that you're able to manage your credit. Last point though, also, never leave more than 50% of your maximum credit. I don't care if you got a $100 credit card. Don't leave $51 outstanding for any given long period of time. Never leave it there, because it looks like, oh, you've maxed out your credit limit and you're now broke because you don't have the ability to pull your credit card limit back down. So keep it under 50% and buy everything with your credit card. Buy everything with your credit card, but have the cash, right? So don't let your balances sit there. Don't use a credit card for the credit. Pay the credit card, spend. Pay the credit card, spend. You'll see within 3 months, your credit score will jump at least 200 points. 200 points. Because the bank will say, oh my gosh, this person's just paying and paying and paying and paying and paying, because they'll just see it all the time, okay? I tried it, it worked for me. It actually worked for me. I was told that by a guy in the bank actually years ago, and it worked for me. And it's going to work for you. So let's finish off with you saying he should put the money in an index annuity. The thing about an annuity, annuities don't always, annuities, what they do is they're supposed to pay you, um, they're supposed to pay you an amount of money, I believe, is what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to pay you an amount of money. An indexed annuity means that it follows the index. So if the index makes 7%, 8%, 9%, it follows the actual index. It's actually invested with the index. So it's diversified for you. It's a very good potential method, but I'm not a big fan of annuities. And also check out the fees that you're paying if you're putting it in that type of fund, because those are usually a fund that's managed. Yeah, so just be careful of the fees that you're paying, because if you've made 8% that year, but your fees are 3.9%, it's stuck you up for that 3.9%. How would you get your gold out of the Canary Island if you should ever need it? Should the crash? So that's why I'm saying gold has to be in a place that it's accessible to you, right? And it's easy to get to. So if I'm living on an island, this is my point. If I'm living on an island, St. Vincent or Trinidad, and I do not want to put my money there because those currencies aren't very strong, I might invest my money in the Canary Islands, in the currencies that they are in, and if I had gold, actual gold, I might try to build myself a little vault, a little place, a little house, a little whatever that actually is a place to bury that particular gold. That's what I'm saying. So I hop on my little boat and I go over to Canary Islands. Oh, the banks have crashed. The heavens has fallen. Money's gone. I go back to my Canary Islands and my little hole, my little area that people think I'm just, what's this guy doing here? He's developing, but you don't have an idea. I've literally got gold buried down there. I've created a big whatever, and I have my gold literally sitting somewhere there. I would literally put the gold in a physical place there. Yes, I would. That's what they're doing in Switzerland. They're building vaults, right? They're building these things. They're building big vaults to hide gold. So it would have to be in a locked, serious place, a remote place. But yeah, I would put it in a place where, it's safe. There's not a lot of militarization. It's not known for criminality. I would hide it in a particular place that was safe. Literally, if I was in Canada, for example, I could basically buy a condominium and create some reinforced doors and basically use the condo as a safe. But would I want to do that in a condo? No, it could burn all my gold down. I wouldn't do that in a condo. Right? I don't want a place that's going to give me a hard access to access my stuff. I want to just be in there, pick it up. It's safe. It's locked. It's hidden. It's remote. Nobody knows how to find it but me. Boom. A lot of people are sitting around with cottages in America and in Canada. They go up north, they go to the cottage, they leave their house up there, they pull up the dock, they shut down the cottage, and people don't mess with it. So people don't know what you're doing. But I would leave my particular gold resources in some kind of buried gold situation. That's what I would do. A lot of people have done that over the years. I would literally have a compound that I would have my gold hidden, locked up, stored in. Like you wouldn't be able to find it unless you knew exactly where it was. And I have my stuff right there. That's what I would do. You don't have to do it, but that's what I would do. Okay. Yeah, man. So, we got more questions. Hold on. Dale, have you looked at Shattered Paradise? No, I haven't. Look at the trailers. 5 minutes. I will. Nope, I haven't seen it. Top of the day. Hey, what's going on, Miss Ann? Marilyn, Miss Ann, what's going on? You're thinking variable annuity. A fixed index annuity is better than a fund because the money is not actually in the market. Oh, I didn't know that. Princess. A fixed indexed annuity is better than a fund because the money is not actually in the market. If the money's not in the market, how am I making money? I don't know. You have to explain that. You have to explain it. The money will not be lost, so it's not a fund. Hmm. I don't. You got to explain how the money is not in the market, right? If it's an annuity, the money is taken away from you. You don't have access to the money, right? It's gone, and then that investment company, whether it's a hedge fund, mutual fund, or whatever, they're investing that annuity for you, and the money is in the market. So I don't understand. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't. I've never heard of what you're saying. How can the money not be in the market? Um, yeah, of course, silver is good. Silver buying precious metals is always good. But my thing about buying metals, precious metals, I want the metal. I'm not investing in precious metals in the rise and fall of metals. I want the actual metal in my hand. That's the purpose of hedging against fiat currency. Fiat currency is the paper, right? So paper currency rises and falls, but hard currency, the actual metal. If you want silver, go get silver. What if you want whatever you want. But gold has been the currency of exchange since there's been civilization. So if you got gold, you're good. It's kind of hard to have gold these days, but if you can actually buy gold, and this is why a lot of these Jewish places are, they'll buy your gold for you. They're melting it down. What are they doing with it? They're keeping it. They bank gold. Jews banking gold. They want gold. They want gold resources. They're smart with finances. They understand. America ain't gonna last forever. They understand. They've seen too many nations fall. Come on. If you were an Israelite or a Jew from the 1st century, 3rd century, 5th century, how many nations have come and gone? Right? They've seen it fall. And they're passing on generational money. They're one of their concepts is make sure you don't overinvest in one particular currency. It won't be around forever. It won't be around forever. There was a time the German money was worth nothing. Worth nothing. Now look at Germany, right? It was worth absolutely nothing. Now look at Germany, right? And don't think that German Deutschmarks are worth anything because of the economy of Germany. There's more to it than that, ladies and gentlemen. We know these countries don't have gold. A licensed insurance agent says, oh, because you're a licensed, okay, you're an insurance person. Okay, it's an insurance product. Why don't you tell us that? It's an insurance product. It moves with the market, but there's a cap on it when the market loses. Okay, even if it is an insurance product, princess, right? This is a question now. That insurance money that this annuity lives in, right? Because the annuity, you're correct, it's insurance. It makes sure that you can always be paid, right? That money is still invested in the market. The hedge manager who's investing the money, the annuity money, he's investing it in a very safe, fixed way. But that money is still invested. It can't sit nowhere. It has to sit somewhere. It lives somewhere. It lives in a very low risk environment for the investor, and the investor is guaranteed his return. So an annuity is very safe. Shaquille O'Neal talked about annuities. He said one of the first things he did is he took a lump sum of money. I think he said he took something like $1 million, and he gave that $1 million, and that for the rest of his life, he's paid a certain amount. So it's like buying insurance, right? So he's paid a certain amount. But this is how they manage it. So I have $1 million of your money, right? You give me $1 million up front, and I promise you every month I'm going to pay you $3,000. For the rest of your life, you're going to get $3,000 a month, right? Am I in the ballpark? I take your $1 million and I invest it, right, for a rate of return that I have to get what? More than $3,000. The $3,000 I promised you, you get. The rest, who gets it? Me. That's how an annuity works. So that investor who has that money still has to invest the money. You can't just say it doesn't live in the market. It's in the market. But it's in the market in an area where he can say to himself, hopefully, if he's investing with you properly, I have guaranteed this person $3,000 a month. I cannot lose this $1,000,000, and I cannot invest it in an area that's extremely volatile. I'll invest it in an area that's very safe. So they'll put it in some type of fixed return, treasury bonds, something that gives a guaranteed rate of return, and they can give you your cut and they can keep the rest for themselves. Am I correct or am I mistaken with that? How that works? Right? Right. They pay you premiums. Right. Am I wrong? I believe that's how it works. Please speak about the coming CBDC. Please tell me what that acronym means, and maybe I would have heard of it, and I'll be able to speak on it, because I definitely know the future, but I know what CBDC means. Yes, so Princess, I believe in annuities too. I believe in them for individuals who want, with their first bit of money, like if you're a professional basketball player or you're one of these guys who's going to get a whole lot of money, your check's always going to keep coming. An annuity is a good way to say, I'm going to financially make sure that I can't go broke. So my first few million, I'm going to do that with it so that I'm guaranteed that if I mess up with the rest of it, at least I'm safe. That's a good idea for something like that. But to say that it's not invested in the market, I don't know if that's an accurate thing. It has to be, because how else is the hedge fund manager going to be able to return your money to you? If it's not invested in the market, it's a Ponzi scheme. Because what he's doing is he's taking new money and he's paying you with new money, but he's not actually making money on the money you gave him. So when he stops getting new people, he can't pay you no more. So he has to invest it to some extent. Okay? What's CB's? Centralized banking, digital currency. Listen to me. I don't know why people don't like this. Let me tell you what the future is going to look like. I'm going to give you two aspects of the future: transportation and currency, and actually I'm going to give you three, and passports, right? Number one, it's not in the market as a fixed annuity. Only a variable annuities are in the market. You can explain that. I would like to understand that. A fixed annuity is not in the market. Where is the money invested? What is the money doing? How does the money make money if it's not in the market? Just explain that to us so we can understand that. If that's information that I don't have, I'd love to learn about that. Because I have no idea what they would do with the money if it's not in the market. Where is it? It's not maybe in a high yield market, but it's got to be invested somewhere, is my point. So transportation. Transportation is going to elevate to the point where literally people can commute from America to the Caribbean like they would take a subway. Very quickly, very fast. Point one. Point two, I believe we're going to have world passports very soon. Meaning, immigration is going to be a thing of the past. It's cumbersome, it makes travel longer. It's like a Nexus card. I don't know if anybody knows about what that is. You just basically wave the card. That is going to be a thing of the past. We're going to eliminate borders soon, right? So transportation will be crazy fast. I'll be able to go from Toronto to New York in 15 minutes. Fast, quickly. A mode of transportation will be created to do that, right? Passports eliminated.